Tonight on Q2, towns around Yellowstone National Park struggling to get back to normal.
Here we are in one of the most incredible places on the planet, and an opportunity that you won't have again.
But tonight there's a bright side as businesses are encouraged and new visitors are moving in. Plus, wildlife in Yellowstone National Park is a very common sight, but this was a little different.
I ducked down to look at it, and I'm like, wait, no, my gosh, that's a rubber boa.
A rarely seen snake caught on video by a hiker, and a much-needed celebration. One Montana community now able to smile again 7 months after the town was torn apart by a wildfire. Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. More progress as south central Montana rebuilds from the historic floods that devastated the region 1 month ago. We begin near East Rosebud, where a section of the road is now back open. The U.S. Forest Service says an 11-mile stretch of East Rosebud Road from Roscoe to the Jimmy Joe campground has been repaired, and that campground is now back open again. However, the road remains closed past that campground and is not expected to reopen this year. As you can see in this drone video, that section of East Rosebud Road suffered extensive damage. Cabin owners near the lake say they've been told it could take more than 2 years before repairs are made. The Custer-Gallatin National Forest has received nearly $6 million in emergency quick release funds to repair routes damaged by the flooding, but contractors still need to be hired. Meantime, the communities of Cook City and Silvergate remain cut off from Yellowstone National Park, but there is a silver lining. More wildlife is being spotted in the area, and that's suddenly attracting wildlife watchers to the area who are seeking a new experience. As Penny Preston reports, business owners say they're encouraged.
I'm looking at a black pup wolf.
Since wolves were reintroduced to Lamar Valley in Yellowstone in 1995, hundreds of thousands of people have come to see them and grizzlies in what was called the Serengeti of North America. The tourists often stayed in Silvergate and Cook City nearby, generating millions of dollars of tourist business in the gateway communities. But the floods of early June destroyed the roadway through Lamar, and the northeast entrance of the park was closed. That means fewer tourists and cars coming down this road. It's often said nature fills a vacuum, and that's exactly what's happening here. People who live in the area say they've seen wolves and bears walking down the highway now that the traffic's gone.
Last week we had a wolf a quarter mile. I'm looking at where the wolf was. We had a grizzly bear at the park entrance yesterday.
The head of the Chamber of Commerce says Yellowstone's iconic wildlife are often seen in and around the villages.
So yeah, we have the wolves traveling back and forth, we have the grizzlies, we have the black bears, we have moose.
This Minnesota couple detoured to Silvergate on their way to Colorado after they heard the news about the park closure.
And one of the things we just did is we walked into the park, and there's exactly no cars, no other humans. So we got a lot of pictures, and we'll always remember this forever.
Zach Lind came all the way from Bozeman twice to hike 6 miles into Yellowstone alone, because the park is closed to traffic.
Here we are in one of the most incredible places on the planet, and an opportunity that you won't have again.
Lynn points out the gateway towns are fed by 2 scenic highways.
Chief Joseph, the Beartooth Highway will be open in just a few weeks, so you can come from Red Lodge or from Cody.
From Silvergate and Cook City, Penny Preston reporting for MTN News.
When visiting Yellowstone, you expect to see things like bears, wolves, and elk. But seeing a snake generally comes as a surprise, and seeing a boa takes that surprise to a whole new level.
I was so stoked when we saw it. I was just like, oh my God, a rubber boa.
It may not be one of the creatures visitors flock to the Yellowstone area to see, but for Livingston wildlife guide Frank Hessler, seeing a rubber boa was an experience that was hard to beat.
Me and my wife were hiking on an offshoot trail in Paradise Valley, and we were kind of going along a stream, and all of a sudden we're like, wow.
Hessler spotted the 6 to 8 inch long snake last week while hiking just outside the park. At first, he thought it was a long earthworm.
I ducked down to look at it, and I'm like, wait, no, my gosh, that's a rubber boa.
Rubber boas are one of 10 species of snakes native to Montana, but the only one that's in the boa family. And sightings in the Yellowstone ecosystem are far and few between. That's partially because they're nocturnal.
I'd seen one like in 2008 right by the Boiling River in Yellowstone, and I had no idea what it was then. Of course, do a little research and look it up.
Hessler now knows rubber boas get their name from their rubbery feel and appearance, and they can grow up to more than 2 feet long. A wildlife encounter this guide will have a hard time topping.
It was a really cool experience, like just super random, just sitting in the middle of the trail, just sunning himself just as it was getting cooler out.
And one Hessler definitely won't forget. In Livingston, Phil Van Pelt, MTN News.
We really slowed down the radar loop to show you the storms coming off the mountains around Red Lodge, Joliet, Fromberg, Bridger. Watch that strong storm cell move across and then start to hit parts of Bighorn County. Some strong storms north of Billings as well. But as it made its way through Fromberg, check out this video of some of the hail that's falling there on top of all the other problems we already have in Fromberg after the flooding. Now the hail fell, and I had a few reports that it looked like there was some crop damage in area fields as well. Here's some of the hail that Jerry took after the fact. If you have some pictures to share, we'd sure like to see them this evening. You can upload them to us on our free downloadable weather app or email us at weather@ktvq.com. More weather coming up in a few minutes.
Montana continues to rebuild after the devastating floods, but last year, if you remember, wildfires were causing all kinds of damage. Those blazes started early, and the season stretched into early December when the West Wind fire burned part of the town of Denton. The flames destroyed the old wooden Wolf Creek Bridge on Montana Highway 81, basically cutting off the primary access point into town. But now, more than 7 months later, the community has reasons to smile and celebrate as the construction of their brand new bridge is complete. And it's better than ever as it was built with a concrete and fireproof pathway providing a 100-year life expectancy. For many, it's just a bridge, but for this town, it represents much more.
The bridge being reopened is just one step closer to a full recovery from the fire that we had here in December, and just a great day put on by the Department of Transportation here for the community. And we all got out and had a good time, and it just helps us put the fire behind us.
Fewer Billings kids are receiving free healthy lunches this summer. School District 2 is once again partnering with Riverstone Health and Sodexo to make sure no student goes hungry over the summer break. However, not many families are taking advantage of the program, at least compared to 1 year ago. MTN's Charlie Kleps takes a closer look.
Many families rely on school lunch programs to feed their children throughout the year. I'm standing in Pioneer Park, one of 10 locations where Billings Public Schools will be handing out free and healthy lunches to children throughout the entire summer. Fortunately, this year, not as many families are taking advantage of the program.
I'm a low-income family myself, and to be able to work and bring my kids to this job and be able to feed them, that's huge just on my part.
For parents like Jamie Harris, summer vacation is no vacation. She knows how difficult it can be to find healthy, affordable meals for her children.
You can tell families that are in more need than others, and they thank us, they tell us how great this program is.
Harris works with Billings Sodexo School Nutrition Services, which gives out free meals to kids throughout the summer.
A lot of kids that need the food come eat with a parent or no parent. They just know we're here, and it could be their only meal of the day. Is honestly why we do our jobs, is to reach those kids.
Parents can pay a small price to eat as well. However, this summer, not as many families have utilized the program as in years past.
In 2020, we actually fed 86,000 lunches. This year, as of June, we've only fed about 12,000. So it's a pretty big difference. It's not really a known program anymore either. We try to do what we can as advertisement, but a lot of parents don't know about it.
And they also want people to know this program is about more than just food. Lunches are often served with a story.
Most days we have Reading Rocks that come here, so that basically brings in a lot of kids. It's a great experience. They get stories read to them, plus they get lunch. So, I mean, it's a win-win for parents, kids, people in the community in general.
And in return, many who work here are also told the story. Stories that prove just how meaningful these meals are to those who receive them.
We all do it because we see what the kids go through. They tell us little stories. Mom lost a job, we're living in car. We want to be that first smile and that meal for those kids.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
The nationwide baby formula shortage still isn't over. Many baby formula brands remain out of stock across the country. In fact, data shows availability recently dropped to its lowest level so far this year. Nearly 30% of powdered formulas were out of stock for the week ending July 3rd. Things have improved since then, but shortages remain high in states like Wyoming, Utah, and Alaska. Some good news, though. Several Operation Fly formula flights have brought over product this week. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services now has a podcast to help you learn about health and wellness. It's called Talking Health in the 406, and there are currently 3 episodes available. Each episode will feature a Montanan talking about their health issues. The plan is to release at least 1 episode a month.
As we're visiting with the person and listening to their story, we try and also infuse little tidbits and lessons in there as well. And hopefully that'll reach people a little bit better than, just putting out something out there on social media or like a billboard or a newspaper.
The podcast is available on all platforms. If you think your story would be good to feature on the podcast, you can send an email to talkinghealth in the 406@mt.gov with your information. Well, still ahead on the MTN 530 News here on Q2, time for a ride. New bikes gaining popularity throughout the Treasure State. We'll go out and about next. And then in sports, climbing to new heights, we'll meet a Billings man who's proving that age is just a number.
The MTN 530 News continues right after this.